So now conservatives are really mad because Joe Biden answered a question about a ceasefire while eating an ice cream cone. And they say that's tacky. They say that a president ought to be serious when talking about something like that, and he shouldn't have been standing there eating an ice cream cone when they ask him. It is absolutely impossible for me to take anyone seriously who gets bent out of shape over stuff like that, because a president that bragged about groping women was not a deal breaker. A president who made fun of prisoners of war, people who had been tortured serving our country, was not a deal breaker. A president who called dead soldiers in the cemetery suckers and losers, that wasn't a deal breaker. A president who said dodging STDs was his personal Vietnam, that was not a deal breaker. A president who tried to overturn an election that he knew he lost and install himself as a dictator, that wasn't a deal breaker. The 4 indictments, the 91 charges, none of those things are deal breakers. Being found liable of sexual abuse, guilty of fraud, those aren't deal breakers. Saying I'll be a dictator on day one, that's not a deal breaker. Saying he'll terminate the Constitution whenever he sees fit, that's not a deal breaker. Throwing paper towels at hurricane victims, that wasn't a deal breaker. Having hamburgers for the Super Bowl winners, that wasn't tacky to them. Oh no, but by God, Joe Biden need an ice cream cone and we can't have that. That's awful. I can't believe he'd do something like that. We're right back to Obama and the tan suit. They got mad at Obama for wearing a tan suit. They got mad at Obama because he asked for some Dijon mustard. And now they're mad at Joe Biden because he ate an ice cream cone. And in my mind, when someone says the word woke, what I mean when I say I'm woke about something is that I have became aware and I'm learning about the struggles and the plights that people goes through in this world. And when I sit and I read about the struggles that black people have faced for hundreds of years, and I study about how long they were enslaved and how hard they had to fight and scrape and claw to have equality in this world, and I read about all the lynchings and the church bombings and the burnings and the police brutality, I read about all of those things, and then I look over here at a group of people who's pissed off because they can't go in a Target, because they might see a rainbow shirt in a Target. I mean, we can't drink Starbucks no more. We can't drink Bud Light. We're going to burn our Carhartts. Those things just don't compare to the true struggles that people's faced. And when you sit there and go off and act like that Joe Biden eating an ice cream cone is the worst thing that's ever happened, and yet you embrace Donald Trump, you have no leg to stand on. You have no ground whatsoever to state your case on. Just please go to the back and sit down, okay? Because no one's ever going to take you seriously. I can't take people serious like that, who their struggles in life is that other people are expressing themselves. Yeah, they're upset because another group says, hey, we would like to be able to have a festival. We would like to be able to have a parade. We would like to be able to have a display in a department store. We would like to put our name on a coffee cup, whatever the fuck. That's what they are oppressed. That's their form of oppression. That's it. It's so ridiculous to me. I tell you what, I will take Joe Biden, 81 years old, eating an ice cream cone over Donald Trump any day of the week. And if Joe Biden had to pull down his pants and pissed in the middle of that question, I would have been like, whoa, that was really inappropriate. Joe Biden should not have did that. But that would have been one gaffe. That would have been one thing that I could have said, God almighty, I can't believe he done something like that. That would be one. Versus this mountain of shit that Donald Trump has done, and people sits back and gives him a passport because he's their savior. Because they rank him above Jesus. I truly believe they do. I truly believe that MAGA Republicans put Donald Trump ahead of Jesus Christ, and I'll tell you why I think that. They never hold him accountable. Oh, and when Donald Trump said that he never asked forgiveness and didn't know why that he should, that wasn't a deal breaker. When he couldn't name one Bible verse, that wasn't a deal breaker. When he held the Bible upside down, it wasn't a deal breaker. So he breaks every rule in that book, and they don't hold him accountable, but they sit back and they watch and they hold Joe Biden under this microscope. He's eating an ice cream cone. Oh, go for it. Call him out. Eat ice cream cone. So yeah, they definitely put Trump over Jesus because they never hold Trump accountable for anything. Can someone show me one time that a MAGA Republican actually held Donald Trump accountable for something that they didn't shout it was fake news. Name one time that they said, hey, yep, you know what? He's an idiot. No. They did back when they were trying to run against him in 2015, and during that time they did. During that time they didn't want him, but once they stuck with him, they stayed right with him, and they're still there, and all these things aren't deal breakers. They're still cool with it. And I know I left out so many things that aren't deal breakers. I left out, saying that he's, him saying that he is selling sneakers to black people. That was a deal breaker for a whole lot of black people. There's a few black conservatives who got excited about that one, but just leave in the comments the other things that I forgot, because folks, it's been a long time since 2016. There's been all sorts of just one disastrous clusterfuck after the other when it comes to Donald Trump. So I know that I forgot certain things that wasn't deal breakers for MAGA Republicans. So you guys feel free to leave them in the comments. And it will probably end up being a comment section I'll never be able to sift through, because that's how many there'll be.